No.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to today's debate. The motion is, it is time to stop using bottled water. On the proposition, please welcome Ian. On the opposition, please welcome Bao. And now let's start with the proposition.
Yes, I believe it is time to stop buying bottled water, and here are a few reasons. Firstly, as you know, bottled water is composed of plastic, which is damaging to the environment, particularly air pollution. According to the World Health Organization, or WHO, around 300 million tons of plastic waste are released into the environment each year, and it takes 450 to 1,000 years for a plastic bottle to degrade. As a result, it has effect not only on the environment and animals around the world, but also on you. For example, massive areas of the ocean between the US coast and Japan, where is a lot of plastic, since plastic doesn't dissolve, all those plastic water bottles have that don't make it into the garbage or recycling bins end up in places like this, worn down into smaller and smaller pieces. Nobody is sure just how much plastic is there, but there are some places, some measurements have found as much as 1.9 million pieces of plastic in a single square mile.
Okay, thank you. Now let's hear from the opposition.
In my opinion, I agree with your first argument. Yes, could be unsafe, like you said, but tap water could be not always good when you drink tap water. According to Brand Goodman, 500,000 cases of stomach illness every year use tap water. But with all the traveler, they are all agree that the water in the tap is really hard to drink because the iron smell always make them feel terrible, and because of that they drink water less, and I think this very bad. And in the situation, the bottled water is very good for the traveler. And move to my first argument, I believe that the bottled water is more convenient than the tap water. Example, when you go to park, travel to somewhere far away, you always need some bottled water because you need to drink enough water each day. The bottled water could be very carry simply. You just need to put it in your bag, and that is the one of the biggest advantage of bottled water because we all like the comfortable.
Good. Okay, proposition speaker, please present your next point.
Yes, I agree with your point, but I don't agree with some point that you said. When you go to the park or somewhere that you need to drink enough water a day, that I think you can get the personal water bottle and fill it with tap water, so you don't need to use plastic bottle. Yes, so I will go to my next reason, that I believe sometimes when the water is stored in plastic bottle under the sun or at high temperature for long periods of time, especially when the plastic bottles are made of poor quality, the water loses its freshness and flavor, and it may even concerns that the heat could have chemicals from the plastic leach into the water. A study done by the University of Florida found that if a plastic water bottle is exposed to long periods of heat, it can release a chemical named BPA, and the chemical element antimony into the water, researchers have suggested that BPA has been found to change hormone levels, increase the risk of some cancers. For example, my aunt, she told me that she seldom buys bottled water, but that she did one time, and she put it in her motorbike trunk, which is quite hot. Then she simply forgot about it. 2 weeks later, then when she was driving her motorbike, she really want to drink water, but there's no store around, so that that she took the bottle of water from her trunk and drank it. Fortunately, she is okay. Then she told me that the water's flavor has changed and that is now tastes a little bit sour. So she told me don't do that like she did. So according to the researchers found that 93% of the bottles show some signs of microplastic and that they contain double the amount present in tap water. Tap water is the water pumped through a pipe from a well or local household water system that you can use water purifier, then bring them to a boil to improve the taste of tap water. In fact, that 98% of the US population has a success to clean, perfectly safe tap water.
Okay, thank you. Now let's hear from the opposition.
Yes, like I said that the bottled water cannot be good, but the tap water I think is not always be good too. It's have, like I said, it's have million cases of storage units every year, and I think you said that uh, uh, a woman don't have a store near there, a store have a bottled water near there. So I don't think so, because I think bottled water is available at almost every retail store, whether stock it on the shelf of grocery store, in the facility, vending machine, or micro market, in the checkout as cooler. If you want to buy tap water, you need to go to somewhere have a like a big supermarket. And as I can see, every big or small supermarket in Vietnam always have the bottled water, and is the convenience of bottled water that you can drink and buy whenever you want.
Okay, go on. Ian, what do you want to say to that?
No, I agree with your point. Also, I will go to my third reason that I believe bottled water is much more expensive than tap water because that you must pay for the empty bottle and the water when you buy bottled water. For easier, like in Vietnam, for example, bottled water costs over 10,000 dong, with some brands costing more. That you need to drink more than 2 liters of water a day. So you need to spend 15,000 dong on 5 bottles of water, which equals 2.5 liters, just for drink a day, while on average one person used 8,000 liters of tap water for only 45,000 dong each month. So I think tap water is much more cheaper than bottled water.
Okay, thank you. And then opposition speaker, please present your final argument.
That's true, that could be quite expensive, but I think the tap water is expensive too. Each month you need to pay for the water in the tap. So although the bottled water is more expensive than tap water, I think the bottled water is good with that price. You can bring it everywhere, very comfortable for sure, and much more advantage of bottled water that the tap water can do. And I will show you in my next argument is if you live in somewhere that have the unsafe water or no water on the tap. So in that situation, bottled water gonna be very necessary. Without that, you cannot drink any water until the water is safe. A paper named Norris said that we need to drink 8 cups of water every day. It can be very bad for your health if you drink less water. With this big advantage, I don't think that we need to stop using bottled water.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you please close the debate?
Yes, today we have accused about the advantage and disadvantage of bottled water and tap water. I believe that even though it has some negative side, it's very important, especially in certain parts of the world. Thanks for the listening.
Thank you very much. That was really good, guys. Good job. All right. And then we've got 10 minutes, so let's quickly move on to our last pair.